So example number 2, here we're going to warm up a little bit. Okay, we're still going to stay with third order polynomial, but we'll have all the terms. Here we don't have the x squared term, but in the next example we have p of x equals 2x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6. And as before, we need to find zeros of p of x. All right. Here, I'm going to look at the factors of a sub 0. So we have a sub 0 equals 6 and a sub 3 equals 2. So p, possible factors of 6. Well, that would be plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, and plus minus 6. All of those are factor of 6. You notice that in the previous, in this case as well as before, the number was a factor of itself because we can always have 6 times 1 as a product. What about q, factors of the leading coefficient? Well, we saw that 2 is made of 1 plus minus 1 times plus minus 2. So we have total of 8 combination because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2. Actually, we may have, well, multiplied by 2. So we have total of 16. 8 times 4, that's actually 32, but not that many. You'll see that some of those will be reduced. So let's see, what are the possible zeros of p of x? Theoretically, we can have as many as 8 times 4, 32. But, as I said, the reality is we have less. Possible zeros, let's see. We start with, we're going to take the numerator, we'll divide by the denominator, right? So we have plus minus 1 over 1, and then plus minus 2 over 1, plus minus 3 over 1, plus minus 6 over 1. Okay, we finish one group, and now we need to divide by 2. So we have plus minus 1 over 2, plus minus 2 over 2, plus minus 3 over 2, and plus minus 6 over 2. So where is the reduction? Well, 2 over 2 and 1 over 1 are the same, are 1. Also, 6 over 2 and 3 over 1 are the same. So we're going to end up reducing it to plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, plus minus 6. And then we have plus minus 1/2, plus minus 3/2. And we have the 2 over 2 and 6 over 2 included. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2, 12 possible zeros. Okay, but here's the thing. The reality is we need 1 0. If we find 1 0, then we'll perform either long division or synthetic division, and the cubic becomes quadratic, and we know how to factor quadratic. So, with all these 12 possible zeros, all we need is to hang on to 1. Find 1 and proceed. Okay? So, I'm going to start with 1, and if 1 is not working, then I'll move to 2. And I'm going to start with positive because I feel like having positive here and positive here, it looks like maybe positive over positive is a better chance. You know, it's really 50-50 to have positive over positive, negative over negative, but we are comfortable with positive. So here are the coefficients. I'm going to do synthetic division. So 2, 1, negative 13, and 6 are the coefficient of the dividend. The divisor is, I'm going to start with 1. Hopefully 1 is a 0. And let's see, drop the 2. And 2 times 1 is 2. 1 and 2 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Negative 13 and positive 3 is negative 10. negative 10 and 6 is negative 4. This is not a 0 because I have a remainder. So this tells me that x cannot be equal 1. Okay, x is not equal 1. That's not a 0. So I tell you what, I'll try 2. So again, 2, 1, negative 13, and 6. Doing synthetic division. Drop the 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 and 4 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Negative 13 and 10, negative 3. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Bingo. Remainder of 0. So, but this tells you more than the fact that x equals 2 is a 0. It tells you that after the division, the quotient is the coefficient of the quotient are 2, 5, and negative 3. Okay? So we start with cubic. So what we see that p of x that originally was equal to 2x cubed plus x squared minus 13x plus 6 is really, you have x minus 2, because if x equal 2 is a 0, then the linear factor is x minus 2. And what's left is the trinomial 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. And now I need to factor this thing to get 2 more zeros. So you can see that why we really, if you have cubic, all you need is 1 0. If you have quadratic, you need to find 2 zeros. If you have I'm sorry, I said quadratic. If you have quartic, 4th order. If you have 5th order, you need 3 zeros until you get to quadratic. Because quadratic, we know how to factor. Sometimes we can factor also cubic. For instance, if we have x cubed minus 8, well, you know that it has x minus 2 as a factor. Or if you have x cubed plus 3x squared minus 5x, you know that x equals 0 is one factor, and now the cubic becomes quadratic. Right? So let's see what we do here. Okay? So at the end, we have this one. So p of x equals x minus 2, which you found by synthetic division. And then let me rewrite 2x squared plus 5x minus 3, and now we need to factor this. Okay, so 2x squared is made of 2x times x. And negative 3 is factor is either negative 3 times positive 1 or negative 1 times positive 3. However, I see that the center, remember when you do FOIL, this is first, this is last, and O plus I, outside plus inside, is 5x. It's a sum. So if you do 2x times 3, you get 6x, and then you subtract 1, you get 5x. So you factor it as 2x minus 1 and x plus 3. And now we finished the problem because we factor this polynomial completely. So what are the zeros? Well, the zeros are, we have x equals 2. What do we do with the 2x minus 1? I'm sorry? Well, and x equals to 1/2, exactly.